Good night, everyone, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 7 of Cut Deep. It's the season finale. We unfortunately had to take the past couple weeks off. We do apologize, but I heard you missed me, and I missed you. Hopefully, I can make it up, though. I have a whole box of goodies for you tonight. The other morning, it dawned on me that I had introduced this platform, but I actually did not introduce myself to you, my fabulous audience. What you may know for sure is that my name is Cindy Roseanne Jones. My greatest pride are my 3 amazing children. They are actually the ones responsible for my mouthpiece. When I had my first son, I found my voice. That voice came knowing that I had to protect him at all costs. So I am a mom of 2 beautiful boys and 1 sassy daughter. I am a marketing and public relations professional. I specialize in event marketing. I studied at the Kensington College of Business in London, UK. The BVI Seventh-day Adventist School is my primary education alma mater, and the Elmo Stout High School, formerly BVI High, is my secondary alma mater. I am a generational daughter of this soil through my mother, also a descendant of the Quaker settlers, and like so many of you, my dad is not of the Virgin Islands, giving me rights to French citizenship if I so choose. I'm a product of the 7th District. I am directly related to the Stevens of Fairhawks Bay, the Pickens, and the Anthonys of Seacoast Bay. However, again, like so many other Virgin Islanders, the connections are unending. I do work for the BVI Tourist Board. October will be 6 years. I have traveled extensively and spent many years outside of the BVI, moving home permanently almost 6 years to date, never losing touch with these Virgin Islands I love so dearly. But enough about me. Cut Deep is an interactive platform cutting through the noise and political rhetoric. It is raw, uncut, challenging you to think critically. What do the issues mean for us? What part do we play? It is a platform that will move the Virgin Islands toward unified, integrated success. Tonight's show is bringing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But before we get into it, I want to talk about this local Virgin Islands brand that I am wearing tonight, OG Status Worldwide. A couple Tuesdays ago, I decided I needed a little break and went out to Loose Mongoose to have a couple cocktails and dinner for myself. It so happened that it didn't exactly pan out like that. I probably had 10 conversations. People's eagerness to talk politics, I love it. Anyway, the run-in I enjoyed most was a group of young men that decided they had to speak to me. They could tell me my name, what goes on Cut Deep, etc. They were talking issues, giving their views, and I love when our young people are engaged, paying attention. Mr. OG Bump Ravioli himself was one of these youth, and he, along with others, insisted that I wear the new line of the show, on the show. I said, get me a white one and I'll make it happen. They figured no one was more OG than me. I chuckled. OG stands for Original Gangster. Check out their Facebook page, OG Status Worldwide, and just check out their goods. We'll be right back.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
welcome back to Cut Deep, Season 1, Episode 7, our season finale. As mentioned, tonight we're just going to talk about some of this and some of that. Lots of different topics happening around us and the Virgin Islands at the moment. What we would probably call relevant topics. So here we go. A couple weeks ago, a woman from the Dominican Republic who was apparently living in the USVI paid $1,000 to be smuggled into the BVI in order to get a flight back to the Dominican Republic. She was apparently desperate, having been diagnosed with breast cancer and wanting to get home to her family. She was intercepted at the Beef Island airport. Apparently, a random search indicated she did not have an entry stamp. Let's think about this. This woman is sick. She wants to get home. Can anyone tell me why this woman was remanded to prison for 4 months on BVI dime? Why wasn't this woman fined or given a suspended sentence? A sick woman that we will feed for the next 4 months. If she falls sick, we'll have to foot that bill as well and still pay to have her deported after serving her time. Why wasn't she sent on her way? There is no precedent to be set here. Was she stereotyped? Was she discriminated against? Or was the magistrate having a bad day? Or maybe got her experience under a rock? This makes absolutely no sense and shows a total lack of empathy for this woman. We really have to do better. We must. With possibly deteriorating health, why lock her away? To die? Where is your discretion and compassion? This is a downright disgrace. While we're on immigration, and let's add labor, I find it concerning that the BVI is unable to make decisions in the best interest of the Virgin Islands and Virgin Islanders without coming under attack from visitors living in this territory. If you do not hold status in the BVI, you are a visitor. And if the laws of the land do not suit you, then you should definitely make arrangements to go where the laws do suit you. The flip-flopping of governments looking to save face when they stand up for this territory is nothing short of appalling and embarrassing. About a week ago, the Minister for Labor announced that terminated non-nationals living in the BVI should return to their homelands. Well, our non-nationals and some Virgin Islanders who refuse to apply common sense started kicking up. A few things, this order is 4 months late. This order is 4 months late. 2, the labor law says if you are unemployed, you should not be here. 3, not only did the minister give a 3-month break to find work, he extended it to 6 months. On top of that, he has applied this to 5 years and under and given the opportunity for exemption certificates of 5+ years, once proof can be shown that you indeed can afford to stay here in the interim. Why are people so ungrateful? Why should the BVI government take on the responsibility of feeding non-nationals? Where will the funds come from and when? And then you have some Virgin Islanders saying that the government is making a mistake because these people pay rent and shop, etc. Did you miss the memo? They are unemployed, which means they cannot pay for anything, period. They have become a liability. And these Virgin Islanders would be the same ones who would be upset if government could not help them because they had to spend the money helping the unemployed non-nationals out. The last time I checked, the BVI government does not print money. And the last thing we need is more taxes. The government of the Virgin Islands should be able to make decisions for the Virgin Islands and in the best interest of Virgin Islanders without pushback from visitors, once those decisions are not unjust, period. Continuing on with immigration and labor, but adding Social Security and NHI. The Minister for Labor last week announced that NHI and Social Security had to be in good standing before work permits are renewed. I'm assuming this was done to fix the Social Security debacle. However, again, the minister had to pull back because, as usual, this was not fully thought out. Now I'll tell you, I agree with the minister on this policy. However, now may not be the time to enforce this. Applying payment plans was a good save. However, at the same time, I find the government weak and unable to bring true remedying to the Social Security and NHI issue. Unable to reprimand employers who have taken advantage of their employees, those employers who have stolen from their employees for years and years. Why hasn't adjustments been made to the Social Security guidelines? Why hasn't updated legislations come to the House of Assembly to fix this issue? Is it not important to fix this decades-old immoral problem? While we're here, on immigration and labor issues, why is it so stringent when especially small local businesses are renewing their work permits? Having to justify hiring well-needed imported labor while big companies are rubber-stamped. No questions asked. Why do we continue to implement policies that affect small businesses negatively while big businesses continue on untouched? When will all these financial services firms be made to justify hiring from outside when locals are fully qualified? Who will clamp down on the token 1 or 2 locals in these firms? Who is getting money under the table to see this injustice continue? Whose head should spin? We have a new government administration and a new minister, but he seems more of the same, if not worse. Who will answer? What is our vision for the success of the Virgin Islands for Virgin Islanders? Why did our forefathers work so hard? About a year ago, I spoke out about the regularization process. My issue, as I stated very clearly, was not that persons should not be regularized, but that we should look at immigration and labor reform first and then tackle regularization. It would have taken 6 months tops. Instead, 1,500 plus persons were given status grants, and as I understand it, we had another 1,700 to go, but apparently, thank God for COVID-19. For all the legislations being rushed through the House of Assembly, still nothing on immigration reform. When persons are rubber-stamped year in and year out, Virgin Islanders are disenfranchised on every front. Their ability to exist and survive in their BVI is diminished because a sellout took money under the table or sold out for a vote. Who will put their foot down on these injustices? Who should we vote for that is worth their dime? Side note, who is checking on the new faces working in the bars? Do they have work permits? Have they been living here and are new hires? Or were new people smuggled in? Immigration and labor, can you tell us? Inquiring minds really want to know. We'll take a short break and come right back.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Welcome back to Cut Deep Season 1, Episode 7. It is the season finale. Let's cover something exciting for consideration by our administration. The government has so kindly waived stamp duty on property purchases for a year. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands has put out an offer, 100% on land loans. A few weeks ago, the minister in charge of Social Security reported that the organization had spent some $20 million on just under 200 acres of land all across the BVI. Honorable Premier, you've just done a number on the Social Security Board's kitty. I think it would be an absolutely fabulous idea for the board to put 50 acres of land on the market for purchasing by Virgin Islanders. 50 acres should produce some 120 to 140 pieces of house lots. The board should be able to recoup some 8 to 11 million on this venture. You'd be killing two birds with one stone. Go make us proud. A newspaper report some weeks ago indicated that the government administration had passed some 20 legislations in the House of Assembly. Is anyone paying attention to what these were? Although we are inundated with COVID issues, it is imperative that we pay close attention to what is going on in the House and the Cabinet. Some of the major legislations that went through the House included Consumer Protection Act 2020, Medicinal Marijuana, the Medical Act, Gaming and Betting Act, Liquor License Act, the VI Trade Commission Act 2020, COVID-19 Control Act Suppression Miscellaneous Provisions Amendment Act 2020. So yes, we need to get reading. One bit of legislation reform that failed to make it through the House, however, was more autonomy for police officers. I am disappointed that this piece of legislation was even brought to our House of Assembly for consideration. At a time when most of the world is fighting for its removal, here we are trying to introduce it. Like, really? Nonetheless, we are grateful that this has died the death in the House of Assembly. Medicinal marijuana, one of the major legislations that has passed through the House. However, this is one that I cannot come to terms with. I've learned some new information that has come to my attention, and I simply want to throw out some questions to the minister of the subject. Here goes. Most important, who is the investor for medicinal marijuana? Who is Kellyanne Salmon or Salmon? Who is the medical research team on the ground that she is working with? Who is Kentucky Gold? Who is Island Gold VI? Is this a local company? Who owns it? When was it established? Is it a subsidiary of Kentucky Gold? Initial research on Kentucky Gold is leaving me with an uneasy feeling. BVI Airways wrong too? How much can this territory actually take? Why are you adamant on subjecting our farmers to sharecropping and modern-day slavery up at Paraquita Bay? Why are there so many secrets around the formation of this industry? You would have heard your parents or grandparents say, what starts bad will definitely end bad. If my team can run the HLSCC video, I want you to take a look at this video.
We've established the Power 52 Caribbean Energy Institute. So this is the first location, our first international location of the Power 52 Caribbean Institute.
When you think about it all we did was figure out a way to invest in people. That was the trick. The trick was Paine said, you must fight now.
This program is a beautiful opportunity to build capacity within the territory, to build the representation of HLSCC as a premier training institution in the Caribbean, and to help us rebuild our community, our young people.
I interviewed everyone. I don't know if you've watched the BVI Stronger web series or the documentary, but it actually led to thousands of people coming back to tour and to be part of BVI's recovery. After hearing what people wanted, it was one of the greatest cries was to go green. To go green. We want to go green. We don't want to put the old ways back up. We want to live as a model of people who experience the pain of this climate change, and we want to do something about it.
We are invested in ensuring that the people of the Virgin Islands have the skills required to be full participants of any industry. And as such, it behooves us to pursue partnerships like this one in order to ensure that our people are trained to take their rightful place when those industries take off.
I am so excited. My biggest hope is that this is not just a one-time thing, but we find other industries and they incorporate that character building piece, the personal finance piece.
Once we show that it works here for a country like BVI, we can go to St. Martin, we can go to St. Lucia, we can go to West Africa, and the process is the same. So we're really excited about establishing our first international location. We're excited about the people we're going to serve and at the blessing that we'll bring to this community.
The Certified Solar Technician Program is key and critical to the advancement of the government of the Virgin Islands and the BVI Electricity Corporation's strategic energy vision for the territory.
We can take this country forward to the next level, to the next generation, to the next stage.
When you get the right people, when you put the right people together, all things are possible. And whether it's solar, whether it's whatever, I think the redeveloping of human beings is what makes this project work and what makes BVI the perfect place to do it.
Your participation in this program will put you in high demand. Treasure this opportunity. It will open up your options where if you become good enough, your earnings can be very high. Storms come through. Tough times never last. Tough people do.
Let's talk about the electricity solar contract on Anegada. So I don't have to speak like Henry and use words like untruth, although that is exactly how I was raised, and my cousins remind me of that each time I step out of line. But hey, they'll message me as the show wraps and I'll take their spanking. This is indeed Cut Deep. I am sick and tired of the foolery around here. This is why the BVI cannot move forward. Why is it that we hate each other so much? The BVI Electricity Corporation, its managing director, its board, and the VIP administration are full of it. Ray Lewis presented at HLSCC on green energy solar technician training some months ago. This initiative was spearheaded by Unite BVI. Him being here seemed to have been initiated by Brittany Turner, an entrepreneur and philanthropist affiliated with Buck Island. Ray Lewis spoke at the college under his non-for-profit organization, Power 52. A few months later, he is allowed back into the territory to bid on the Anegada project with a for-profit business under the same name, Power 52. I don't know about anyone else, but for me, that curdles my blood. Who is really behind this bid? What insider information was he given? Where did hands rub and did money pass under a table? Did Ray Lewis play us? Come in under the guise of his non-for-profit to ingratiate himself with the community in an effort to secure the contract? There are companies here that operate in the renewable energy space. How could a U.S. company partnered with a German company, SMA Sunbelt Synergy Energy GmbH, win this bid? Who is the local interest? This type of behavior is questionable, and government after government administration continue to fall prey to these people and these types of behaviors. What does this say about the character of the people we tend to believe in? Why did electricity lie and say no local firms applied? Yes, it was not an untruth. It was a downright out lie. Honestly, whether Henry ran for politics, is involved with other political parties, ran the electricity department, don't see eye to eye with whomever, I don't care. We cannot continue to divide our territory like this. Continue to give the best of the BVI to outsiders because we don't like each other. This is government's business, not the personal business of Leroy Abraham or anyone else sitting on the BVI electricity board. And come with your bold-faced nonsense about Power 52 presented the best options. You all know that that is a lie. Henry Criqui has run BVI Electricity in a stellar manner for years, so we know that he knows what he is doing. He is a young, talented, intelligent, generational Virgin Islander, and you are telling me this type of victimization against our people should not be called out? The same exact scenario with CCT and electricity. Why do we keep doing this to our own people? This territory belongs to all of us. If we want to run for politics, the heck we should run for politics and should never be victimized for it. Every single decision maker at and around the BVI Electricity Board needs to be beaten with a bullbud. Virgin Islanders applying these vindictive behaviors to other Virgin Islanders will be beaten with many stripes. It doesn't matter how many times you call on God's name. Fake. Between the cannabis and the Anegada Solar Project, I've learned that the VIP administration are lovers of American football. Both Island Gold and Power 52 are apparently owned by NFL retirees. Sweet. We'll take a short break and come right back. Welcome back. We are on our season finale of Cut Deep, and we are talking about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. The airport extension. I don't think there's anything that upsets me more than flip-flopping or flip-floppers. The past premier, the Honorable Orlando Smith, tried his hardest to push through the extension of the airport runway. It came under much pushback from residents and then leader of the opposition, the Honorable Andrew Foy. He even went as far as accusing the then premier of wanting to leave a legacy project. He campaigned that his government won't touch it. It is unnecessary at this time. Fast forward 1 year into his new government, and what do we have? A VIP administration ready to move the airport's expansion forward, falling some $2 million under what the Smith administration introduced. Is this now your legacy project, Honorable Premier Foy? At this point, I don't know if to laugh or scream. Not only that, but we have sourced someone who was a general manager for 4 years at an airport in Atlanta to do this report. The report is being withheld from the public. Why is that? And who recommended this good gentleman? Within this 4-year general, with this 4-year general managerial qualifications, my fellow Virgin Islanders and belongers, you just can't make this stuff up. You ever hear of jumping from the pot into the fire? Well, here we are in the hot, blazing fire. And let me tell you, this airport extension will destroy Trellis Bay as we know it. Don't be fooled. Let's take a look at this ad. Do you remember this ad? Let's talk about our children. For all the monies thrown around to stimulate the economy, why has not even $5 million been allotted to take our senior high school children out of that zoo that they are in up in Pasea? Do we remember the election campaign of 2019? Do you remember this image? Take a good look. Stop treating our children and young people as your political football. When is that pretty junior high school that was prepared last year for the junior students, when will it be furnished? Honorable Minister, what is the plan for our children for the 2020-2021 school year? Is everything on the fly for you guys? There is ongoing conversation on left-hand drive, right-hand drive vehicles. I am not going to get into the debate of it. What we have to understand is that we need a vision for this territory and policies and legislation to cement that vision. Unless there are laws on the books, you cannot tell someone they cannot do something or that's the way we live here. No, times are ever changing, and because we say so, it's not going to fly. What is the vision for the BVI? What do we want to look like, be like? It entails every little detail. As it relates to the effectiveness of the new traffic flow, I think it is too early to determine its success, as most vehicles are not back on the road yet. But from my own view, I see a terrible bottleneck developing from the roundabout heading to Fleming Street area and on to where the fire station is. We will need a stoplight on Admin Drive to control the three-way. We need speed limits in town ASAP, and we need more crossing zebras. Again, though, the diversion of traffic is a band-aid on our traffic woes. We need to figure out how to reduce the number of vehicles coming into this small territory. There is a lot of conversation and noise from my friend Claude Skelton Klein on BVI independence. He has even gone as far to say that the BVI should be striving to be fully independent in the next 7 years. Sometimes I wake up and wonder if I'm living in the twilight zone, but I remember it's another day in Zamunda and try to keep it moving. It would be an incredible mistake for the BVI to think for a moment that this small territory could stand on its own. And for Mr. Klein to continue to push this message is dangerous. I observe a number of our Virgin Islanders that have grown up in the US trying to apply their experience to the BVI. I would never suggest that the BVI doesn't have race issues, but we cannot be compared to the US and to institutional racism. Any issues the BVI face will go right back to the vision we have for this territory and whether we stand together or continue to tear each other down. In the new season, we will go in depth into our independence and constitutional review. I am definitely in favor of more autonomy for these islands. Independence is a hard no for me, especially when we can't trust our administrations to work in the best favor of our people. To introduce simple good governance legislations like freedom of information. However, as our constitutional review is up for discussion in the House of Assembly now, make sure you reach out to your district rep with any ideas or thoughts that you may have as it relates to the future of these beautiful Virgin Islands. We'll take a short break and come right back.
Father Jesus, that line you long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
son.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy, over there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man, forget you.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Welcome back. The conversation tonight is a little bit of this and a little bit of that. A basket full of goodness. It's festival time in the BVI. Can you tell? No? Me either. The Minister for Culture is pushing a virtual festival for our emancipation celebration this year. I can't for the life of me see how this makes sense. Why are we unable to think outside the box, unable to think for ourselves? Why do we follow every trend, whether it will work for us or not? The BVI is COVID-free. We just tortured the entire Just Van Dyke community. If anything, that has told us is that we are COVID-free. We have been out of lockdown for months, no new cases. People have been interacting left, right, and center. And don't get me wrong, I am not diminishing or dismissing the threat of COVID. But why are we behaving like the BVI is the Caribbean's ground zero? We can't be punished because our administration is unable to keep our borders safe. Back to festival. Could we not have at least put up the party flags across the territory? Why is the place so dry? The festival grounds can hold some 8,000 to 10,000 people. Why is it that an exception could not be made to accommodate some 1,500 people per night to celebrate our emancipation? The events could have been ticketed, enabling social distancing. Businesses are hosting events over the holidays and people will go out. Why couldn't we put bands on the road for Rise and Shine throughout the districts? Everyone stand in their gaps and enjoy the trucks passing by, escorted by the police to ensure no one goes behind the trucks. Why can't we think outside the box? Why do we have to beg these dictators to tell us what's going on with the curfew for festival weekend? So businesses can actually plan. And for God's sake, why can Carrot Bay Day festivities go on? The behavior of this administration is really hard to swallow. I want to talk about the TRC, Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, and I don't want to talk about the TRC. I understand Guy Malone, head of the organization, was sent home. I will leave it at that. I really don't have the energy. Let's talk about Sam Henry, though, and his apparent need for me to be sent home off my job for keeping Virgin Islanders in the loop of what's going on in their territory. Sam Henry, the flip-flopper, political prostitute, could not give a hoots about this territory unless it benefits him. Keep going, brother. Let's take a short break and come right back to wrap up.
Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. 284 Media proudly presents its newest talk show, The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, with yours truly, Ron Grant. A show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Don't worry, it's not all about suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a 284 Media production.
I want to thank you for joining us on Cut Deep tonight. Our conversation was on a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I, however, want to close out on a very positive note. There are a lot of not only young, but intelligent and creative people in the BVI. They need to be invested in, and this doesn't have to be from government. Government cannot and should not be expected to do everything. I believe that to whom much is given, much is required. I would like to encourage the millionaires of this territory, Virgin Islanders who have made it, to reach back and bring other Virgin Islanders with you. You can do this financially through coming together and starting an angel network to invest in our creative talent. It is something to take under consideration if you really care about this territory. Due to the ramifications of COVID-19, our tourism industry is under severe pressure. However, we must remember that it is an economic pillar for the BVI. The threat to the economy is immeasurable. Although we are not welcoming guests at this time, we should be mindful of the way we speak to those looking to return. I have been observing social media platforms and posts and have been shocked by the way we are speaking to and handling return guests and potential new guests. Remember, tourism is our bread and butter, and our kind words will go a long way when we are ready to welcome guests back to our shores once more. Tonight is the season one of Cut Deep. I thank you for embracing me on this platform and journey. And I am grateful for all of the encouragement I continue to receive. Season 2 will return on Tuesday, September 1. We will be live and I will be able to interact with you even more. Thank you for tuning in. I want to wish you an enjoyable Emancipation Week. Whatever you decide to do, be safe. Take care until next time, and remember, go check out OG Status Worldwide and support our young people. Bye.